What's up, ladies and gentlemen? NoZoupForYou here, and as I promised, I said I would bring you a preview of the Somers, despite the fact that I gave you a stream highlight of the Somers. So here it is. And I'm very excited to bring you this preview of the Somers, because I really love this destroyer. And it's gotten a lot of buzz. A lot of people are seeing this destroyer, and I think they're getting excited for it, which is cool, because anytime a destroyer gets love, that's a good thing, especially in this day and age of aircraft carriers where destroyers are kind of overlooked, and people are like, man, I don't want to mess with them because I don't want to deal with aircraft carriers. That's the wrong attitude. You shouldn't be afraid of aircraft carriers. You can still do good in destroyers. But anyhow, let's talk about the Somers. First and foremost, this is a real destroyer. This ship was the lead class of the Somers destroyers. In total, only 5 of them were laid down. These destroyers were based on the Porter class of destroyers, another destroyer that we do not have in game right now. And it's kind of nice that we're getting the Somers in game, because this is starting to fill in gaps of destroyers that we don't have at the moment. Somers spent a lot of her time in the North Atlantic. She did some cool things over there, working with the USS Omaha, a cruiser that's been in the game for quite a while. They captured the German freighter Odenwald. It was carrying 3,800 tons of scarce rubber, which, you know, we need rubber during war, so that was pretty cool for us. That ship was disguised as a merchant ship called the Wilmoto. So kind of some spy-on-spy stuff going on right there. And interestingly enough, because it captured that, the crew of the Omaha and Somers were entitled to prize money. So since they're part of the Navy, they couldn't get $3,000 apiece like they're gonna get, but they were entitled to 2 months' pay and allowances. Pretty cool. This is the last ship, the Odenwald, that was captured that the US Navy and a boarding party has been awarded actual compensation for. So just a neat little tidbit about the Somers right there. But you want to know about the ship itself, so let's talk about it. 20,800 hit points when you're using Survivability Expert. You've got 4 dual 127mm guns with a range of 11.7 kilometers. And these guns can actually pack a punch. And I'll be honest, I don't use these guns a lot. And the reason I don't use these guns a lot is this is a torp boat through and through. Somers is straight up torpedoes. I mean, that's what you want to play this ship for. I mean, the torps on this thing are hilariously fun. So, while you have guns, you might not use them that much, but if you have to, they work in a pinch. Now let's talk about your torpedoes. Ho ho ho, and these things are awesome. 16.5 kilometer, 66 knot torpedoes. If you use the torpedo speed boost on these, you can get them up to 71 knots with a 13.2 kilometer range. And that's what you're seeing on my ship right now. In the very beginning, I didn't use this. I didn't use the Torpedo Acceleration. I didn't feel I needed to, and you really don't if you don't want to. If you want to allocate those captain skills elsewhere, you can do that perfectly fine. But when you add that extra 5 knots, it makes these torps crazy fast. You sacrifice a little range, but ships have a harder time getting out of the way. Reload on the Somers when you've got Torpedo Armament Expert and Torpedo Tubes Mod 3 on your ship are 82.6 seconds. Not even a minute and a half. 82.6 seconds, and your torps are ready to go. This thing literally spits out torpedoes. It's funny because I was playing with one of my buddies and they said, you're going to have launched 2 full racks, well 3 racks because it's 4x4x4 on this ship. You've got 3 racks. He said, you're going to have launched 2 salvos before I've even launched 1. And he was playing in a Shimakaze. That's hilarious. It's funny. It's just absolutely ludicrous, but that's the Somers, and that's the beauty of this ship, right now, because it is a work in progress. Moving on to your anti-aircraft capability, you have none. Don't even think about it. These aren't dual-purpose 5-inch guns. So, I think it's rated at 6. I wouldn't try buffing your AA. I wouldn't bother. Focus on other things. And if airplanes come your way, just pray you've got smoke ready to go, or you've got a big bad CL or CA you can hide behind, because your AA isn't going to do anything. It's just not. Speed, 40.5 knots with CR mics, not too bad. 620 meter turning radius. Not the most nimble ship in the world, but it's not a slug. It's kind of in between. It's not bad though. I wouldn't worry about that too much. And your concealment, when you've got Concealment Expert and all the other accoutrements that you add to your ship, like camouflage and your module you get it down to 5.8 kilometers. And that's pretty respectable. No, it's not 5.6 or 5.4, but you really don't need it with your torpedoes, depending on which ones you're using. Actually, you don't need it with your torpedoes, period. 13.2 or 16.5 kilometer torpedoes. You don't need great concealment. And again, this is a torp ship. So what do I think of the Somers overall? What do I think of this United States Navy destroyer? I love it. I absolutely love it. This ship is a blast to play. It's absolutely fun. You can sling torps left. You can sling them right. You can sling them straight down the center. You can just keep slinging them. And when you're tired of slinging them, guess what? They're ready to sling more. It's really disgusting. And that's a concern with this ship because as it stands, I don't know that this ship is going to make it into the game as it is. 82.6 second reload is kind of insane for this ship. Kind of insane for any ship for that matter. These are good torps right here. These aren't your run-of-the-mill crappy torps. They do some serious damage. And the fact that you can sling 12 of these things as fast as you can, well, that's just downright scary. That's a scary thing right there. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious, and it's a blast, and you're going to get a lot of torp hits that you weren't expecting. You're just going to wind up seeing your torps hit ships that you didn't even know were there, and that's just the way it is with the Somers. But I don't know that that's a good thing, and I think this ship right now is just a little too strong. So I can imagine that Wargaming is going to kind of pare back the abilities of the torpedoes on the ship. That's just my own premonition. I think that's what's going to happen. Time will tell. We've still got this for testing for a little while, and believe me, I'm going to enjoy testing this ship for as long as I can because I absolutely love it. And I'll be honest, we've had a lot of really fun ships lately for testing. We've been spoiled lately. Georgia, Yoshino to a lesser extent. Now with the Smolensk, I mean, Wargaming is just pumping ships out, and they're a lot of fun. But we got to make it through the nerf bat first. So we're going to see what happens to the Somers. Hope it doesn't get hit too hard. Here's your preview on the USS Somers. Hope you're as excited for it as I am. Can't wait for it to come out. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.